Alright guys, hope you're all doing well. We are back again, episode 2 with Horror Moto. We're going to get deep into the segment with this one. Chat's about to happen. A little bit of a ride, then we're going to stop off for some lunch and go from there. So tune in, get ready for episode 2. Here we go. Alright, so I was pretty much explaining on the ride, bro, that I met you a couple of years ago online, playing Apex and Xboxing.
Yeah.
So, not really realising we were both in Perth. It wasn't until you sort of got a bike that we linked up through the mob. But like, obviously I know a little bit of history about you, I know a bit about your life and stuff like that. And it's not always good times. There's good times and bad times.
It's not, yeah, there's always, good comes with bad, 100%.
And whilst, you know, we see sort of, you know, the nice GSXR, we've seen the nice CBR. Was it always bikes that you were into, or?
No, so I was into the car scene since I can remember. I've always loved cars. It's always been a big passion. I used to have a 1999 Nissan Silvia S15. That was my pride and joy for many, many years. Unfortunately sold it not too long ago, but that sort of gave me a bit more funding for the bikes. Bikes have always been a big interest as well. I've just never sort of took the leap, I guess you could say, into getting one. So yeah, once the 15 was gone, that's sort of when I was like, you know what, let's do it. We got some funding, so like let's make the jump, and I'm so happy that I did.
Do you prefer sort of the bike scene over the car scene, or?
Well, I see this for me. I love the bike scene. Like, so welcoming. Everyone's awesome. Obviously, there's going to be quarrels with people for whatever reason in any scene you go to. But I don't know. I just got tired of the car scene, I guess. Like the S15 wasn't running for a while, so I wasn't like in it. But even before then, like, it just started to become about who had the most expensive turbo and who had the most expensive wheels, like
the most horsepower, bit of a pissing contest.
Yeah. So like, I was never really like about power like I am now. Now I got bikes, but I just wanted to build what I wanted to build, like.
And you find as well with the cars, I think, like, it's expensive. It's so expensive. Like, people were like, oh, bikes are expensive, but you literally can build 2 bikes for the quarter of what a car build would cost.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Did you find the automotive scene when you got into it, and even the bikes, like, was it an escape from sort of the reality you lived? Did it help you mentally?
Yeah, 100%. I think anything automotive, like anything at all, is definitely like a sort of an escape for me. Setting up a whole day where you can go with your friends and your family, your kids, and sort of share the same passion as a group, like, really brings people together, I think, more than anything.
And it's the tune out, right? Like, in a car you can zone out with your music, it's one thing, but you still got, you know, your outside noise. In a bike, you put the helmet on, you sort of boxes you into your own little zone, right?
Yeah.
So then you can sort of, any problems you're having, like, this is me personally, like, if I'm having a bad day, I put the helmet on, like, everything just deletes the moment you buckle up, you put that helmet on and you're gone.
Yeah, so like, I find that as well. I also like going for a ride just to think.
Yeah.
I love going to Kings Park. That's sort of like my little my little area.
Yep.
So I'm a bit far away, like I'm down in Mandurah, so it's a nice hour, 45-minute ride where I can ride up there and I can sort of, like you said, zone out,
clear your head,
have a think, clear my head, get there, just have a bit of a decompress, I guess. Like, and it's even just nice to go up there if you're on top of the world. Like, you get to look out over the city. You've just ridden your bike, driven your car.
There are killer, right? I'll get a little bit deeper, and you can stop me if you want. But it always wasn't sunshine and rainbows for you.
No. So I wouldn't say I come from like a shit upbringing, but my early 20s was really rough. Got into a bad scene for a good few years and ended up in jail. Before I went in, I didn't have much, so I was sort of like went in with a really bad mentality.
Yeah.
I guess you could say, like, it was like, oh yeah, this is going to be it. And then
It's done. Where am I going?
I've got this is me done. Like, I'm just gonna be like a part of the system.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And as I was like halfway through my sentence, because I was at Casuarina, there was like
So max security.
max security prison. There was like multiple people got out, came back in, and they were like ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
Like seeing all their mates, and fair enough. Like, yeah, that's
Sort of like a home away from home for some people.
Yeah.
So
It's
seeing
just,
that sort of revolving door effect, I guess, some people go, fuck yeah, like this is my home, people are going to welcome me, but you sort of went, nah, hang on.
No, I don't know what flipped in my head, but I was like, I'm not going to live this life at all. So, yeah, once I was out, I was a bit skint for a while, just doing random jobs around the Perth and around the city and whatnot. And I managed to land a FIFO gig, which has set me up.
Did it help in a way, sort of being FIFO, being away from sort of that scene, concentrating on work? Did it give you a bit of a bridge for a while to sort of pull away from it?
Yeah, self-isolated myself from like everyone that I used to talk to. Like I was mates with people for years and years and years, and just sort of dropped off the face of the earth, which I needed. So I was just sort of like breaking that cycle and actually wanting to break the cycle. Because I feel like there's lots of people out there that break the cycle, but then sort of
fall back into
it.
again.
And it's like it's more of a personal thing, like a personal journey that you got to take.
And you've got to want to do it,
Yeah, you got to. If you don't want to do it, you're never gonna. You're never gonna.
Do you find that there was anything specific that, you know, because we've all been there, we've gotten to those points where we're just like, no, I'm going to give up, I'm going to throw in the towel. And I presume even after, you know, coming out of jail, there would have been a few of those points that you just went, fuck, I'm going to take the easy way and go back to the path again.
Yeah. So like when I first got out, it was like a real difficult time. With my living situation wasn't like the best. I sort of got kicked out, landed with a mate, and he was pretty good. Like he sort of set some ground rules, which were like fundamental, I guess, to like starting the process. What sort of pushed me more was when I found out that I was having a daughter. Obviously that kids is a big thing for me. Move heaven and earth if I had to do anything for them. My daughter was a big driving force, and then had my son like a year later.
Sort of slows your mind down a bit when the kids are coming. You're not sort of as reckless as you probably were before. You start thinking sort of 6-12 months ahead rather than just a couple of weeks ahead sort of thing.
So instead of
you're good, but how do you do better?
Like more of a setting my future up, not living my day-to-day life, like going to work, coming home.
Living that paycheck by paycheck.
I started really grinding at work, like heaps of overtime, trying to like progress in my career as much as I could as well. So then I was like, saving for a house, selling the car, making adult decisions
rather than impulse decisions. And like, look, as hard as it is, like I think as well, like you had to deal with coming out of jail and, you know, dealing with missing the world for a few years, coming back out, and then the FIFO life. A lot of people glamorize it. Like you see all these influencers and stuff, like it's great, you're getting this money, but I feel like they don't really touch on how strenuous it is being so isolated. In a lot of our roles, you're one-on-one, it's you, that's it. You're out there doing work by yourself, or you're in the cab of a machine by yourself. The only person you really got there is a radio. And
that only speaks to you every now and then.
You know.
FIFO was a big change for me. Like when I started FIFO, I was 2-1, so I was sort of used to being away.
Like the jail scene. It's almost like being in a jail, but you're getting paid really good money, right?
And you get a mobile phone.
And you get more than an hour out of your room.
So there's not much.
But like you look at it like you go to work in the morning, you come home, you eat, you gym, you sleep. Like it's a pretty routine regimen.
It is a very routine, and I've come to learn that I need a pretty strict routine to help myself sort of function, I guess.
So I know a lot of people, they've got their FIFO mates and everything, they bring them back home, and then sort of their work life starts carrying into their personal life.
So I'm strictly
off that plane, work's gone,
Yeah.
I'll see you in 2 weeks or a week.
So like I've got really good relationships. Like I'm a leading hand at the moment. I've got a few people working underneath me.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, we'll catch up, we'll do this. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to, man, but like I don't like really want to see you. Like you're awesome bloke, like awesome bloke. Like we'll go to the pub and have beers, other work, but when I'm at home, man, like I just want to.
You have your real life, you know.
Yeah, like I want to be with the missus. I want to be with my kids.
Yeah.
Like I want to go out for a ride, see my mates that I ride with.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, like up there, like you're spending 13 hours a day with these people, a little bit more, and like no offense, like even sometimes you spend that, you know, long with your loved ones. Like you need a break.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know.
So like, I've been told a few times that I can't wait for me to go back to work after being home for only a week as well. I think it's good to keep things, your professional life and your like your social and personal life separate.
Yeah, separate.
Some people hang out. Yeah, some people do that, and it's like, yeah, good, awesome, man. Like,
I just find it brings that complicated drama doing that. Like you can be out like this or out, you know, on a night with the boys from work. You get on the piss. You have a confrontation, and then it just makes work life really hard from that point on. Yeah. Because now you've got this animosity from, you know, the situation that happened back home and stuff, and you're trying to work your way through that whilst working with them.
Yeah.
So
It can be awkward. It definitely can be awkward.
And now like this is a big thing, even talking about it and opening up about it. And like, you know, I had discussed with you sort of what I was planning to do with the channel. I wanted to open it up. Like I'm a pretty big advocate, especially on men's mental health, on speaking up, because I don't think, you know, a lot of us, especially the FIFO industry, it's, you know, nut it up, eat some cement, like harden up, champ. Yeah. And that sort of mentality, especially a lot of us, you know, guys in our, you know, early to late 30s now have grown up with our whole life. Yeah. I've always found speaking up and speaking out about your feelings and emotions to be good. It's like a weight off your shoulders. And this in a way is sort of that, but you're now publicly putting it out there. Anyone out there struggling with sort of their mental health, or maybe in the same sort of scene that you were before, is there any sort of advice you could intuit on them on how to maybe pull their mental state up to get out of it?
Like you said, talking to people does help.
Yeah,
like,
it's not weak.
It's not 100%. It's not like you don't want to feel vulnerable to like people that you want to be strong for. Yeah. But like, don't be afraid. They've got anonymous hotlines. Yeah. Like there's heaps of like, you can text people now. You don't even actually have to.
Yeah, I've seen a few of them up north at Hell Preaching. You just text them the issue and they'll text you back.
Don't even have to talk to them on the phone, like in person, nothing. It can just be over a text message. Just open up, man. Like I've found that I've opened up to more like strangers, I guess you could say, like more acquaintances than I have like my friends of 5-10 years, or my family that I've grown up with. Yeah. Like they just take it for what you're saying, like which is what you
without
need.
the judgment.
Yeah. Like, they don't know
you in the past.
Yeah. So yeah, it's always good to message just anyone.
Did you sort of find the gaming sort of helped as well? Because you were sort of talking to strangers, right? Like we were all strangers before, and like there was a lot of stuff that I shared about my past when I was in a bad mood, and you know, you had done the same, and even the other people we play with, like you can tell when they're in the mood or something's not going on. And it's sort of
escape from reality.
It's sort of good because like a lot of these people you don't know, you've never met, you've never seen. It's literally just a voice on the other end of a mic, right?
Like 3 years in the making. Like we talked about heaps of stuff, heaps of stuff, and it's like I said, it's more. I feel like not having that personal connection sometimes can really, or even that pressure of like going to speak to a therapist, or going to a doctor to get a referral. Just those small friendships or small acquaintances that, you know, you feel like you can trust them enough and open up and actually be like, hey man, like I'm having a real shit day, or like work was shit as like this is what's going on, and like
just
validate
listen,
it.
Right?
Like, you just
that's it.
Just sit there and listen. And like you could be like, oh yeah, shit, that's
rough,
hectic.
bro.
Yeah, that's hectic, man. Like, you know, is there anything I can do to help? Like, and you're like, no, like just having that chat made me feel that bit better. So like sometimes I just want to get it out, let it vent. I feel like if you bottle it up, you're gonna, the top's gonna come off and it's gonna be bad. Yeah. Like happened to me. It's a bad situation. No good will ever come of it if you bottle it up. It's definitely good to just get it out. Get it out.
No, I appreciate it, bro. Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming along today.
Easy,
appreciate
man.
you coming for a ride.
Hell yeah.
Everyone, Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this is our moment to tune out because our food's here. But like I said, man, I really appreciate you coming along for the ride today, letting me take the bike for a spin.
Anytime.
I'm really excited to see this build. Like I said, it's something we've discussed for a while and you're doing.
It's going to be good.
Obviously, it's not something that we see here in WA.
That's it.
And I can't wait for this tune to come along with the setup you've got.
Definitely due for a part 2.
Yeah,
Couple months.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I definitely think so.
Yeah.
But for the first YouTube, I really, like I said, man, I appreciate you lending me your cameras while mine's getting fixed. It's sort of what made today happen. I appreciate all the support you're giving. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. So make sure you sub, make sure you like. I will be chucking Horror Moto's socials into the bio so everyone can go from there and check him out. But yeah, appreciate you all coming along. Cheers.